Welcome to Flash Fiction from Giant's Reach by Steve Cook. Hey, and welcome to this week's episode of Pocket Fiction. It's actually my wife's birthday today, so I guess I'd just like to take this minute to say, Happy birthday, Sue. Hope you had a good one. You can check her out on Twitter at catsideswide with a K. Worth its weight. The man with the unusual crossbow leaned on the fence, one boot up on the lowest railing. He was chewing something, and when he turned his head and spat to the side, he left a brownish mark in the grass. He had introduced himself as Thaddeus J. Turner III, and he was completely blocking Harry's light. "That big one out there," he said, gesturing with the business end of the odd weapon he held. "How much?" Harry Field, sorting apples into two baskets, slowed and then stopped. He looked up at the out-of-towner in puzzlement. "I'm sorry, what?" "That big, polecat-looking thing out there." The weapon twitched again, and Harry realised it wasn't a crossbow at all, but something with a hollow tube on it. "He for sale?" Harry followed the man's gaze out into the field. There in the middle was Jumble. The weasel was pulling a plough which was harnessed to his sinuous body. The field was only half ploughed, long earthen furrows ready for seed bordering earth that still bore the marks of last season's crop. "You mean old Jumble?" Harry pointed to the weasel, gamely making his way up and down the field. He's not mine." "Well, who does he belong to, boy?" Thaddeus frowned. "I ain't never seen anything like that before. We got nothing that big, only oxen and horses." "What's a horse?" Harry narrowed his eyes. "Wait, are you taking the piss? Horse is what happens when you shout too much." "God-damned yokel," the man muttered. He began to speak slowly, over-emphasizing every word. "I want to buy that animal." "That person," Harry replied, his voice just as slow and plodding, "is not for sale." He shook his head. "I think I see where you're coming from. You think they're like a sheep or a goat or something, an animal I can sell. Not Jumble, though. He's a person, like me." "He doesn't look like a person." Thaddeus spat again. "Looks like an animal." Harry sighed. "You know, I've literally never had to explain this to anyone. You really are from a long way away, aren't you?" He got up and put two fingers to his lips, whistling a shrill note. In the field, Jumble stopped and looked over to where Harry was beckoning. "Hey, Jumble," Harry said when the big uplift had lumbered over. "This guy wants to buy you." The yellow jewel embedded at Jumble's throat glowed as his voice, a mellow male tenor, ghosted out of it. "What does he want to buy me?" "It speaks," Thaddeus said. He vaulted the fence and began to walk around Jumble, clicking his tongue proprietorially. "Worth a bit, I reckon. Got some sort of mechanism in that jewel to make the voice come out?" "No," Jumble said. "I'm thinking the thoughts and sub-vocalizing, and the jewel is turning that into audible sound. I'm sorry, can you stand still?" Thaddeus wandered back around to the front and reached up his gloved hands towards the weasel's mouth. "Teeth in good condition?" Jumble reared back and swatted the man away, hard enough to send him reeling back. "Oi," he said. "Watch it." "Feisty thing, eh?" Thaddeus nodded and turned back to Harry. "I'll give you 100 gold for him." Harry opened his mouth to scoff, to laugh. But the sheer amount of money, more than he might earn in his lifetime working the farm, choked the words off. Thaddeus compounded his discomfort by sticking a gloved hand in his face, ready to shake. "Deal?" No, I don't think so," Harry said, looking quickly from the man to the uplift. Jumble sighed. "Listen, sir, I don't know what you want, but you're not going to find it here. This is my farm, And as far as I'm concerned, you are no longer welcome here." "Now see here," Thaddeus began, but he got no further. Jumble leaned down, and in one quick movement snagged the man's clothing with his teeth. He lifted Thaddeus clear off the ground and turned, angling his head to keep the flailing boots away from his body. "You just let go of me," Thaddeus shouted. His crossbow-like weapon landed on the ground with a thud as he started to beat futilely at the air. "Tell it to put me down! Put me down!" The cries of the foreigner faded away as Jumble carried him behind the barn, then died away even further as he headed for the hedge that separated their fields from the next farm over. A minute later, Jumble was back. "Well, that was unpleasant," he murmured. "Now then, there's a field still to plough before this day's done." He walked a couple of steps back towards where he had left off, then paused. "And Harry?" "Yes?" "Let's both pretend that you didn't think for even a second about selling me to that man for 100 gold. Hmm?" Harry blinked for a moment, not sure what to say. Then he bent to his work again, redoubling his effort. You've been listening to flash fiction written for my Patreon, Giant's Reach. If you'd like to become a supporter, go to patreon.com/Giant's Reach, where you can find more fiction just like this,